welcome back to the vlog. We're about to leave to go down to Atlantic City for a friend's birthday. We'll be staying there for a night and obviously playing some cards. Hopefully our hot streak to start 2024 will continue. We're crushing it in the online games, so hopefully that can translate to live poker. So we'll see. See you guys there. Driving down from snowy New England to my home tri-state area. Excited to be seeing some friends and celebrating a friend's birthday, but just as excited to get to play some cards. And how can you not be excited when this is your view on the drive over? We're playing and staying at the Borgata. It's a beautiful property. Staff were all very nice as well. And as we pull in, there's only one thing on my mind. And that is to crush their winter series that they have going on. They're giving out 10 million guaranteed, a tournament series that runs the whole month of January this year. We're really excited. We decided as we pull in that we're going to be firing a satellite to their 6 max, $1,500 buy-in. And on our way in, we run into none other than Jeff Platt. Very nice guy. Stopped, exchanged hellos with me. Didn't have to do that, he's very busy. But we all know what he's famous for. Before we fire our tournaments though, gonna make a stop at cash. We sit down at the 1-3 tables, buy in for 400 as a little warm-up before tonight. Alright, we sit down in for 4 at the cash tables, and the first hand we look down at is pocket queens. So we're in the cutoff, it folds to us, we make it 15. Small blind, 3 bets us to 50, and I thought about 4 betting, but decided in position just to flat. So we flat to 50, go heads up to a flop, 100 in the middle. It comes king high with 2 spades. She slows down and checks. Still think I can be getting trapped by top set and all that, so decide to continue playing it slow. Queens are pretty under repped here, so I check it back. Turn, I believe is a 4 of diamonds. She doesn't check this time, she goes for 35, which I thought was a small sizing, so decided to stick around. I mean, we have queens, I can't really just go fold into 1 bet. River's an interesting one. It's the king of spades, so it brings in front door flush, but also pairs a top card, so less likely we're up against top set, or even ace king. A lot of the combos are reduced. She goes ahead and leads for 40. I just think it's so small. It's 1/4 pot. I don't know if we're ever folding here. I thought about it for a while. I don't have the queen of spades, so I unblock ace queen of spades, which might be a 3-bet hand, but I think we're getting the right odds to call. We do stick it in, and she turns over black aces. So very first hand, getting a cooler. We kind of lose them in there, to be fair. There are probably situations where we stack off with queens there, so not the best start, but could be worse. About an orbit later, we pick up ace king offsuit. In late position, there's a couple of limps. We make it 25, get 2 callers. We're gonna go 3 ways to a flop. Flop is all low cards. We're in position. It comes, I think it's 3-9 deuce with 2 hearts. Checks to me. I decide to check back. Can continue, but multi-way, I figured I can just check this one back. Turns our gin card. It's the ace of spades. Both check it over to me again. Now we have a short stack here who has about a little less than 100 behind, so I decided to get a little tricky and go for a small bet. I bet 15. He pretty quickly ships it in. Other guy gets out of the way. We snap call. River pairs the 3. Turn over ace king, and we're good. So got a chunk back there. Still down a little bit, but in a good spot. This next hand, we get into a little bit of trouble where we find jack queen offsuit in the small blind. There's an under the gun open to $6 and 3 callers. When it gets to me, I squeeze it up to 45. Initial razor folds, and all 3 of the field callers call. We go 4 ways to a flop with 190 in the middle. Flop comes all low cards, 8-2-3 with 2 clubs. I decide to c-bet small. I go for a little under 3rd pot. for $50. I don't love my sizing here, but I figured that a bet of that size would clear out some of the field. Only the middle position caller sticks around. So we're heads up to a turn. Turn's great for my barreling range. It comes the ace of diamonds. So I think it's a good card to barrel on. My opponent only has about 85 left. The pot's already huge. Pot's almost $300. I stick it in. Thinking back, I'm not sure if I have much fold equity, but at the time I thought it would look strong, especially the ace is such a good card for me to bluff on. I stick it in. She thinks about it for a bit and calls. Not great for us. River's the 9 of diamonds. We say no pair. You're good. She turns over king jack of clubs for the missed flush, but the winning hand with king high. Maybe I could check the turn and jam the river. I think she might check back, honestly, trying to realize her equity. I'm 100% sure if I check the turn and she checks back and then I jam river that she folds. I don't think she's the type of player to hero with king high. Got a little out of line. I don't hate the play. Maybe a bigger bet on the flop might get it done. Or maybe a bigger squeeze pre-flop, but not quite sure. But we do lose a chunky one there. The last interesting hand of the 1-3 session. I'm in the hijack. There's 2 limpers in front of me, and I peel black 9s. I go ahead and make it 20. Both the limpers call. We go 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes ace, 7, 6, 2 spades, and a club. It's checked over to me. It's about $60 in the middle. I continue for 45. The middle position limper goes all in for only about 55 more. Low jack gets out of the way. Now, I thought for a while here, at first it didn't make much sense to me. You know, what is jamming this flop? Maybe sets 2 pair like 7-6. It's actually not great that we have 9s here because we double block 8-9 for the up and down straight draw, which we would be ahead of. So that's not ideal. Would much rather have 10s here. Yeah, but thought about it for a while. I used the live read. He looked really nervous. He was shaking. So I was about 50-50 on making the call or not. It just smelt like a draw to me. I don't know why he'd ever jam an ace here, especially after he just saw me barrel off with queen jack. So anyways, I stick in the call. We go to a run out. Turns the king of clubs, an overcard to our 9s, but again, I have him on spades, on a spade draw, so I'm not too concerned about that. And the river comes the 10 of hearts, so it seems clean. I'm actually fairly confident. I see in his face he's not too excited. I turn over my 9s. He flashes the 7 of spades, so it looks like a pair in the flush draw. And he returns his other card face down. The dealer then flips over his other card, revealing the 10 of spades. So we were right, he had a flush draw, but he rivered 2 pair. So super annoying. He didn't even realize that he hit 2 pair and won the pot. The dealer actually flipped his hand over after he almost tried to muck it. I asked the dealer about this. The floor person was right there, kind of saw the situation, and they said since his cards didn't hit the muck, that it was fine. Kind of annoying the dealer did that, and kind of annoying that we just lose on the river like that, but can't be too mad. Made a good read, made the right call, but just get a bit unlucky there. That's the last interesting hand of 1-3. on to our tournament buy-in. All right, we kind of got torched in cash, in for 400, out for 155, but registered for the 180 satellite tonight. Top 10 places will get a free roll for the 2K main event for tomorrow morning. I take a dinner break quickly, go upstairs, relax my mind, reflect on my cash session from earlier, and get in the right state of mind this tournament we're about to be firing. It's not the biggest tournament I've ever played, but definitely the most exciting. So we make our way downstairs. We see the Winter Borgata branded posters and all that stuff. We see the live stream that the final table of this tournament will be on. That's going to be commentated by Jeff Platt. Would be great to get on there. As we make our way upstairs, I feel my heart start to pound. I don't normally feel nervous when I sit down to play, but definitely feeling nervous right now. Trying to collect myself, steady my breathing. As we step off the escalator and into this beautiful, beautiful room that they have set up. There are plenty of tables running from earlier tournaments. There's a little over 100 entrants. Top 10 get a free roll, and 10 through 15 we get paid out. I'm feeling good, but some curses are just too strong. All right, so I was the first bust for the 180 satellite for the 200,000 guaranteed that's running tomorrow. It's the fourth hand. I picked up red kings in the cutoff. There's a couple limps to me. Blinds are 100, 100 with a $100 big blind Annie. I made it 600 in the cutoff with red kings. Under the gun, limp raised to 3,000 more, so 3,600. So straight 6x, limp re-raise. It smells like aces, it really does, and I wanted to fold, but how can I fold kings pre-flop? So I just called. In position, I figured I can get away from some ace-high boards if he has ace-king. If he has queens, I don't know, but I don't know if he does that with queens. Anyways, board comes 5-6-6. He leads for 3,900 that is. I tanked and I called. My plan was to fold on any non-king turn. Turns a 10, and now he checks, and maybe I should check back. I think about it for a long time. I have 7,700 left in my stack. The pot's already pretty big, like 1,100 or something. Decide to stick it in. He snaps me off. He has ace of spades, ace of hearts. River doesn't help us out. It's the ace of clubs. So if I check back, I think I do fold the river. But I tried to play it to lose the min, but just a cooler. What are you going to do? That is the first hand I played. That is the third hand, and we are already bust. So far, this trip sucks. I'm feeling super deflated. Part of me just wants to go home and book a loss, but at times like these, I think about what my favorite actor, who's stubbed for so many Oscars before he finally got one, says.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving!
We're gonna get back after it, and as they say,
the show goes on!
Alright, about to go shot take 2-5. Game looks good, so wish me luck. Decide to buy into the 2-5 table for 800. Good luck, us. All right, the first super interesting hand at 2-5. We were under the gun with 5 of spades, 6 of spades. We open up to 15. We get not 1,
not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Colors. We go 6 ways to a flop, kind of hating it, but flop comes all right, both for our range and for our actual hand. it comes ace of spades, deuce of spades, 3 of diamonds. So we pick up the spade draw and we have a gut shot. Checks to me. I continue a little bit small. I go for 40. I think it's too small, but I'm playing it a little higher stakes than normal, and 6 ways was really strange to me. So continue for 40. Could definitely size up, but that thins the field. We get 1 caller from the big blind, actually. So we're in position off to a turn, which comes the 7 of hearts. Kind of a blank. We keep our gut shot, and we still have the draw. He checks to me. I could check back to realize my equity, but I mean, I have 6 high. I feel like I have to bet. I go for 75. He thinks for a bit, and he calls. When he thought for a bit on the turn, honestly, I was thinking, I'm just going to size up probably no matter what river and try and rep it. But we don't have to bluff the river. River comes king of spades. So we make the second nut low flush. So there's only one worse flush than ours. So when he checks to us, there's about 320 in the middle. I have to value bet, of course, but won't love it if we get raised. Probably have to fold. We go for 200 into 320, and he tanked for a while. It's pretty nerve-wracking, to be honest. It's the first big bet I put in. He did ultimately end up laying it down. Probably after about 30, 45 seconds, kind of realized I wasn't getting raised, and so I was thinking call, but he lets it go. Still, nice to win a sizable pot and keep our momentum going in the right direction. This next hand, it's probably the one that I want back the most. We're in the big blind. We see a hijack open to 15, cut off, button, and small blind call. We haven't looked at our cards yet. We're hoping to see something we could squeeze with. We look down at 10-9 offsuit. Not quite squeezable, I don't think, but getting terrific odds. So I make the call. We go 5 ways to a flop, and it's pretty good for us. It comes queen 8-6. So we have a double gutter. We check and flow to the hijack, who continues for 25. Everyone else folds. It's back to me. I stick around, make a call. Heads up to a turn with 125 in the middle. Turn is the bink 7 of clubs. We make our straight. We have the nuts. We check and flow again with plans of check raising. And the hijack quickly checks it back. So a little disappointing we can't barrel in money on the turn, but we'll try and get value on the river. The river is problematic though. It's the king of clubs. Brings in the backdoor flush. Now, I'm not too concerned about the backdoor flush at this point. You know, we have the nut straight, so unless he has a flush, I don't see too many combos of flushes that lead the flop. Other than those containing a queen exactly. King, queen of clubs is ruled out. Might have queen 10 of clubs, queen jack of clubs, ace queen of clubs. But we'll see. I think we have to go for value here. And we size up pretty large, actually. We go 125, so we bet for pot. Now, this is where I think I misplayed the hand. So here's a lesson for all you kids watching out there. When you're gonna make a bet, probably at any stage, or you're gonna call or check, you should probably think before about how you're gonna respond to different actions and what your intention is with that bet. So my intention with this bet was to bet fold. So bet for value, but if we do get raised, fold. I don't think players can find enough bluffs here. Maybe he'd have to turn a hand like ace queen with only the queen or the ace of clubs into a bluff here, which if he can find that, it's very good. Anyways, I think you guys see where this is going. We bet pot, and we get raised to 500. It's a gross spot. I thought for a while, I just didn't know why he would check back the turn when he picks up equity with the flush draw. And normally I think I would fold, but this player in particular, I had just seen him a couple hands before bet the river with a straight on a 4 to a straight board that paired on the river with a flush out there. So I saw him bet pretty big on the river with just the top end of the 4-liner to the straight. I saw him get called off by a flush. So I figured he could be overplaying his hand. Maybe he has 2 pairs or maybe a set on this board that he could be overplaying. Thought about it for a long time. I stuck in the call, and he turned over Jack, Queen of clubs. Beaten with our own hand. It's really annoying. Looking back, it's almost always going to be a flush there. If I hadn't seen him overplay his straight a few hands before, I'd probably fold. But I just thought maybe he could be overplaying 2 pair or a set again, and I could be beating some of his value because he did seem kind of comfortable. Looking back, I wasn't getting the right odds to make the call. Just should be a fold. So we lose a big one there. After calling off on the river, we're left with only about 325 in front of us. We're on the button. It folds to the cutoff, who open raises to 35, which pretty big opening size. Been playing with him for probably a couple hours now. I've noticed that he's doing this mostly with stronger hands. So I'm putting him on a pretty narrow range, probably 10s plus or ace king, maybe some ace queen. I'm on the button and I peel 9-7 of hearts. I'm pretty stuck, and I figure, this kind of suited one gapper is a hand that plays well against those pairs, and I'll play cautiously post flop. I stick in the call. We go heads up to a flop. This comes pretty good. It's 9-7 queen with 2 spades. He continues pretty big for 45. I consider raising on this board, but I still think we could be up against queens, and I decided to take the high variance route, try and keep his ace king type hands in, let them barrel the turn because he is a player who will barrel. We just call, hoping to see no spade on the turn. Turn's great for us. It's a 3 of hearts, complete blank. He continues for 100. We only have about 225 behind. It's a pretty easy jam for us. We stick it in. He thinks for a bit, and he puts in the call. River comes, the 7 of clubs. So we fill up, make a boat. He flashes us pocket 10s and throws in the muck. So we didn't need to improve in the river. It's always nice to, but we win a pretty nice pot to double up after losing the big one. So that was big from around. We lose some medium-sized pots and bleed down a bit to around 425 before we start our hand of the night, where we pick up 5 of hearts, 6 of hearts under the gun. We open a 15, the button and the small blind call. 3 ways to a flop, 50 in the middle. Flop comes decent for our range, pretty good for our actual hand. It's 3-4 queen with 2 diamonds, so up and down straight draw. Small blind checks. We continue for 25 into 45. Button calls, and the small blind overcalls. A little bit strange to go 3 ways to a turn, but even stranger when our nemesis for the session, who's on the button in this hand, says to the dealer, he calls out and says, "Dealer, give me the 2 of hearts." So I want the 2 of hearts on the turn. We go 3 ways to that turn, which is, you guessed it, 2 of hearts. Now that's our gin card. We make the nuts. It's a little bit strange that he's asking for that card, I thought. Small blind checks. Now it's on us. There's 120 in the pot. I thought for a while, I was a little confused when he called for the 2 of hearts. I thought about checking and letting him lead, but 2 of hearts might just be the perfect blank card for him to call for. I would hate for him to check back with a flush draw. So I continue for 75. He asked me, he says, that's my card. 2 of hearts is my card. But you're still betting. It's weird. I told him, I said, I'm hoping it looks strong. And pretty much right after I said that, he reaches into his stack, pulls out a stack of 15 black chips, and shoves. Now, here's where the hand gets a little bit weird. The small blind, who has about 800 in front of him, covers us, starts tanking. And I'm sitting there, and I am so perplexed as to what the small blind could be thinking about. After probably less than a minute, small blind calls all in for 800. It covers me. We have the nuts. We can't go anywhere, of course. We call, pretty confused, and we announce to the table, hey guys, I have the nuts. So what do you guys have? This hand's weird. Small blind says, oh, you have 5-6, and I'm drawing to a chop. Turns over ace-5. And our friend on the button doesn't show his hand yet, so we don't quite know what we have to fade. We're running it once, 3 ways. Huge all-in pot. My side pot is about 1,200. River is the 10 of diamonds. My heart sinks. Flush completes. But the button flashes deuce of spades, deuce of clubs, and mucks. We get the gin turn card and the 2 of hearts. That's actually most likely a 1-outer to get the max value there, because the small blind actually had ace-5 with the ace of diamonds, so 2 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds would have been disastrous for us for the run out. We breathe a huge sigh of relief, and we rake in a $1,200 pot. Not too much interesting happens after that. We've played a very long session. We bleed down a little bit before it's time to rack up and cash out. All right, next morning, beautiful, snowy Atlantic City. We were in for 8, out for 1150. Roller coaster kind of session. Started off well, had one big hand that didn't go our way, and then another bigger one that did, so feeling pretty good. It's always nice to book a win when you move up in stakes and shot take a little bit. That's not always the case, so when it does happen, it feels great. A lot of interesting pots, a lot of interesting spots. For those of you wondering if we'll have some more 2-5 content on the channel, let's just say, we'll see. Good luck us. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, I know it was a long one. Thanks for sticking around, but definitely a fun episode for the vlog. Overall, for poker, we were up 25 on the trip. We played some blackjack and some other stuff with our friends, and went up in other areas as well. So really fun, really good trip. Shout out to Jeff Platt. If you're watching this, I don't know how you found this, but welcome to the channel. But very nice guy. Definitely didn't have to stop and say hello to me. On me that I didn't get a picture with him, because he definitely would have taken one. Very nice guy. Shout out to you, Jeff Platt. Sorry for poking some fun at you for your tournament curses. I'm sure you hate that. You notice again, wearing the Sharks hat. Just yesterday, actually, we hosted our second tournament there. We're doing a $25 tournament series on Wednesdays and Sundays. We smashed our guarantee of $500. We had about 1,300 in the prize pool, a little bit less than 75 entrants. Really crazy how much these things have taken off. A bunch of you guys have messaged me on Telegram from here. Also, you can message at JQ Poker on Instagram. Go ahead and leave a follow and a like on there. Post all the same content from the YouTube shorts on there, plus some other just general updates in real time. So if you want that real time update, go to @JQPoker on Instagram. Otherwise, if you want some online poker, message @Sunday_Sharks on Telegram. We'll get you set up. And thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it.